All right, so are you ready to dive deep into the world of chess?
Absolutely. Always ready for a good chess deep dive.
Well, today we've got excerpts from Magnus Carlsen's Wikipedia page, pretty extensive stuff.
Yeah, tons of information on there.
So we're talking about Magnus Carlsen, chess prodigy turned world champion, and just a fascinating figure,
Absolutely.
a lot to cover. But I think the main mission here, at least for me,
Sure.
is to try to understand his journey.
Okay.
From this young kid to becoming world champion to now stepping down. And what is it about his style? What is it about his approach to chess that makes him such a captivating figure even beyond the chess world?
Yeah, he's definitely a fascinating character.
So to kick things off, I mean, we're talking about someone who started playing in tournaments at 8 years old.
8 years old. Yeah, that's incredible.
Not just playing, but by 12, he's placing second in the World Under-12 Championship.
That's right. Already making waves at that young age.
And then a few years later, he gets this label that really stuck, the Mozart of chess.
At 13, that's unbelievable.
13, yeah. What was it about that time period that made people make that comparison?
Well, it was his performance at the chorus tournament where he won the C group.
Okay.
And that not only, showed his exceptional skill at such a young age,
Yeah.
but it also earned him his first Grandmaster norm, which is a significant step towards becoming a Grandmaster.
Right, and I read about this win against Sipke Ernst in that tournament,
Yeah.
where Carlsen sacrificed material to force a checkmate in just 29 moves.
It's a pretty famous game.
I can't even imagine, sacrificing pieces. That seems counterintuitive, so what's the strategy there?
Well, sometimes, giving up a piece, maybe even multiple pieces, can actually create a tactical advantage.
Oh, so it's almost like a calculated risk
Exactly. It's a calculated risk.
to kind of speed up the win.
That's right, to lead to a quicker and more decisive win.
Okay.
And you have to see, several moves ahead, understand the value of each piece
Uh-huh.
in the grand scheme of the game.
So it's not just about brute force. It's almost like outsmarting your opponent.
Absolutely. It's about seeing possibilities that your opponent might miss.
Wow. And this clearly worked brilliantly for him in this
Yeah.
particular case.
Absolutely. It propelled him to the B group the following year, showing his rapid ascent through the ranks.
And I think this is when he ends up going head-to-head with former world champion Anatoly Karpov.
In a blitz chess tournament, yeah, at 13.
That's a trial by fire.
It really is.
To go up against, a legend at that age.
He lost to Kasparov in the second game, but he managed to draw in the first game, which was quite an achievement.
So that must have been,
Yeah,
blitz chess is all about speed and intuition, so to even hold your own
absolutely.
at that age.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it's like being thrown into the deep end.
Yeah.
But instead of sinking, he's swimming with the sharks, with the big fish.
Swimming with the best, that's for sure.
And this really sets the stage for what's to come.
It does.
This incredible journey to becoming world champion.
Mm.
So just to lay out those key milestones, he achieves the youngest Grandmaster title at that time in 2004.
Incredible.
He becomes the world's #1 ranked player at the age of 19. Again, the youngest ever to do so.
Breaking records left and right.
And then in 2013, he defeats Viswanathan Anand to become the world chess champion.
A monumental achievement.
That 2013 World Championship must have been intense, and on top of that, it was in Chennai in India, so Anand's home turf.
Yeah, adding an extra layer of pressure.
So you've got this young guy going up against a seasoned champion
Thousands of people
in
watching.
his own backyard.
Yeah, the tension was palpable.
And yet Carlsen wins decisively, 6.5, 3.5, and becomes the 16th undisputed world chess champion.
He really dominated.
So how do you explain that? How does someone so young, relatively speaking, less experienced than Anand, handle that kind of pressure?
It's a combination of factors. His raw talent is undeniable,
Of course.
but also incredible composure under pressure.
Yeah.
Even as a teenager, he had this remarkable ability to stay focused, make calculated decisions, even when the stakes were incredibly high.
Okay, so let's dive into that a bit more, this playing style. What makes Magnus Carlsen such a unique player?
Well, his style is often described as universal.
Okay.
He's a master of all trades. He's comfortable in a wide range of positions, openings.
So he's not just an attacking player or a defensive player.
Exactly. He can seamlessly transition between different approaches.
So it's like he's got all the tools in his chess toolbox,
That's a good way to put it.
and he knows when to use which tool.
Precisely, which makes him incredibly difficult to prepare against.
Right, because you can't just study his past games.
Exactly. Opponents can't just anticipate his moves. He's constantly adapting,
I see.
keeping them on their toes.
And that unpredictability is part of what makes him so successful.
A big part of it, yeah.
You mentioned that his playing style evolved over time.
Right.
So what was he like in his earlier days?
Well, as a youngster, he was known for being very aggressive.
Okay, so more like that game against Sipke Ernst.
Exactly, sacrificing material for tactical wins.
Hmm.
But as he matured, his approach became more well-rounded.
So he incorporated more, like, strategic depth?
Yes, positional understanding.
So he's not just trying to overwhelm, he's also trying to outmaneuver.
Precisely. He's been compared to some of the greats, like Karpov, Capablanca, Smyslov,
Wow.
all known for their positional mastery.
Yeah, that's some high praise right there.
It is.
But it's this Carlsen effect that I keep hearing about
Mm-hmm.
that I find so intriguing. So can you explain that a little bit further?
Yeah, it's this phenomenon observed by many chess commentators.
Okay.
And, John Spielman, Grandmaster, described Carlsen as a monster.
A monster, wow.
Yeah, in the way he affects his opponent psychologically.
Okay.
And I think that speaks to the aura of invincibility that Carlsen projects.
Right, right.
His sheer skill and reputation create this pressure
Yeah.
that can lead opponents to make, uncharacteristic errors.
So they're already intimidated.
Yeah, it's like they're facing not just a chess player, but this force of nature.
Wow. So to really understand this, I think we need to look at some of Carlsen's most notable games.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great way to see this Carlsen effect in action.
Okay, so let's do that.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's start with that early encounter with Kasparov. When Carlsen was 13,
Mm-hmm.
a rapid game
Right.
where he almost beat one of the greatest chess minds of all time.
It was an incredible game, a real premonition of his future greatness.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is that he wasn't intimidated at all. He just played his game.
Yeah, that's Carlsen. He's fearless, doesn't matter who the opponent is.
And then in 2009, he gets his first win against a player rated over 2,800.
Against Topalov.
Yeah, Veselin Topalov, not an easy opponent.
No, not at all. That 2,800 rating is a major milestone. It really signifies you're in the elite echelon of the chess world.
It's like leveling up.
Exactly. And for Carlsen, it cemented his status, as a top contender.
And then there's that game against Boris Gelfand in 2011.
Oh, that was a classic.
Where Carlsen, it seemed like he was facing this insurmountable attack.
Right.
But he not only defended, he completely turned the tables.
It was a masterclass in defensive technique. And endgame strategy, Gelfand launched this fierce attack.
Yeah.
But Carlsen, he weathered the storm, found these subtle ways to create counterplay.
So even when it seems like he's on the ropes, he's still calculating.
Always calculating.
And then, of course, we have to talk about the 2021 World Championship match against Nepomniachtchi.
Oh, the epic battle.
The longest game in World Championship history.
136 moves.
136 moves.
Can you imagine the stamina?
I mean, both physical and mental. That's...
The mental endurance is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like a marathon, but for your mind.
Exactly. It's a mental marathon.
So these games, they not only showcase Carlsen's, obvious tactical brilliance and strategic depth, but also his mental resilience.
Yeah, his ability to stay calm under pressure is remarkable.
But then in 2023, he makes this shocking decision to relinquish the World Championship title.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, he says he lacks the motivation to defend it.
Sent shockwaves through the chess world.
What do you think was going through his mind?
It's hard to say for sure, but it seems like he was looking for new challenges.
Okay.
He's spoken about the pressure of defending the title.
Right.
Year after year, the constant need to perform at the highest level.
So maybe the classical format, with its long games and tense preparation, wasn't doing it for him anymore.
It's possible he needed something more, something to reignite that spark.
So it wasn't about quitting chess altogether.
No, not at all.
It was about finding a new way to engage with the game.
Exactly.
And he's certainly been busy. He continues to dominate in rapid and blitz chess.
Oh, yeah. 5-time World Rapid Champion, 7-time World Blitz Champion.
And then there's the Play Magnus Group.
Right, his entrepreneurial side.
So let's talk about that. The Play Magnus Group, his chess app, the merger with chess24.com, the acquisition by chess.com. This is like building a chess empire.
It is, and it shows his vision for the future of chess.
So it's not just about playing the game, it's about shaping the future of the game.
Absolutely. He recognizes the power of technology to make chess more accessible.
Okay.
More engaging for a wider audience.
And his chess app, it's introduced so many people to the game.
Been a huge success.
But beyond the business ventures, there's this other side to Carlsen. This guy who's been called the Justin Bieber of chess. He's done modeling campaigns. He's been on TV. He was even on The Simpsons.
It's true. He's embraced the spotlight.
It's not your typical chess player persona.
Definitely not, but it's refreshing.
Yeah.
He's challenging the traditional perception of chess.
He's showing that chess players can be cool.
Absolutely. He's cool, stylish, even funny.
But through it all, he never lost sight of his first love, the game of chess.
Never. He's still a fierce competitor, a strategic mastermind.
And that brings us to the big question. Will he return to the World Championship cycle?
He's hinted at it.
He has. He said, if a new generation of players emerges, like Alireza Firouzja,
A worthy opponent.
yeah, someone who can really challenge him, what does that tell us?
I think it tells us that Carlsen thrives on competition.
Yeah,
He needs that challenge.
he needs that rival.
Exactly, someone to push him to his limits.
It's like that classic hero's journey.
It is. The need for a worthy adversary to unlock the hero's full potential.
So, who could be that rival?
Firouzja is a strong contender, but there might be others out there, players we haven't even heard of yet.
So the chess world is constantly evolving.
It is. New talent is always emerging.
And while Carlsen may have stepped away from the World Championship title, he's definitely left his mark.
Oh, absolutely. His legacy will continue to inspire.
But let's take a step back for a moment
Okay.
and talk about Carlsen's early years. I mean, we know he started young.
Very young.
Tournaments at 8, second place in the World Under-12 Championship at 12. What was it about those early experiences that shaped him?
Well, those early years were crucial, playing hundreds of rated tournament games.
So it wasn't just natural talent.
No, it was hard work, dedication,
And guidance.
and the guidance of key mentors.
Like Simon Agnesteen.
Right, his early mentor, a strong grandmaster himself.
So it's like having a personal trainer for your mind.
Exactly, someone to help you hone your skills, develop your strategy.
And then we see this transition in Carlsen's playing style, from aggressive to more universal. It's like he realized that aggression alone wouldn't be enough.
He needed versatility to adapt to different opponents, different situations.
Like a martial artist mastering different fighting styles.
Well, that's a great analogy.
But this evolution wasn't without setbacks, right?
Of course not. He faced losses, tough opponents.
Like that early loss to Kasparov.
Yeah, a valuable lesson. Even prodigies can be defeated.
And then there was the 2005 Norwegian Chess Championship.
Right, where he tied for first place with Agnesteen,
His mentor.
but lost the title due to a tiebreaker rule change.
That must have been tough.
It was, but it shows his resilience.
He didn't let it define him.
No, he came back stronger.
And that determination is evident throughout his career. I mean, even when he's facing world champions.
He never backs down.
He plays with confidence, this quiet intensity that's almost intimidating.
He's a true competitor.
But it's not just about winning or losing for him, is it?
No, it's about the challenge, the intellectual puzzle.
He said he finds beauty in the complexity of chess.
The endless possibilities.
And that's what separates the great players from the rest.
Absolutely. They're immersed in the process, savoring every move.
They see chess as an art form.
And they approach it with the same passion as a painter or a musician.
So we've explored Carlsen's early years, his playing style, his pursuit of excellence, his ventures outside of chess. But there's one more piece of the puzzle.
His decision to relinquish the title?
What does it say about his motivations? What does it say about his future in chess?
It sparked a lot of debate.
Yeah, some say it's burnout, some say it's a calculated move.
It's like he's playing chess with the chess world.
So what do you think? Is this the end of his reign, or is he just setting the stage for a comeback?
That's the million-dollar question. Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure, Magnus Carlsen is a force to be reckoned with.
A true enigma. Yeah, it's a really interesting question, right? Like he's reached the top, but he's still restless, always looking for something new.
And I think a good example of that is the Fischer Random Chess Tournament that he organized earlier this year.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Bringing together all these top players.
The first ever classical Fischer Random Chess super tournament. That was a big move.
And just to clarify for people who might not be familiar,
Sure.
Fischer Random Chess.
Yeah, also called Chess 960.
Okay.
Basically, you randomize the starting position of the pieces.
So it's still chess, but
It's still chess, but
more unpredictable.
exactly, you can't rely on all those pre-prepared opening theories.
Oh, so it's really testing
Your ability to adapt, to think on your feet.
Interesting.
And Carlsen, he really thrived in that environment.
He did. He beat Caruana in the final.
Yeah, claimed the title.
So what does that tell us about him?
It shows that he's not afraid to step outside his comfort zone.
Okay.
to test his skills in new settings, unconventional settings.
He's not just sticking to the well-trodden path.
He's a chess explorer, always looking for new possibilities within the game.
So where does that leave us? Where do we go from here?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, will he continue to just dominate rapid and blitz?
Right.
Will he focus on his business ventures?
Yeah.
Will he return to classical chess? I mean, who knows?
It's exciting, though, right?
It is exciting.
All these
Yeah,
possibilities.
and I think that's what makes him so captivating. He's a true innovator.
Yeah.
A game changer.
Just like he's constantly reminding us that
Yeah.
even in a game as old as chess,
As complex as chess.
there's always room
To evolve, to be creative, to push the limits.
And that's a message that I think goes beyond just chess.
Right, absolutely. It's a message about the human spirit.
Yeah.
This drive to explore,
To innovate.
to keep searching for new horizons.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Magnus Carlsen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm left with a sense of, I don't know, awe
Oh, Devin.
and inspiration.
And at his achievements,
Yeah.
at his talent, his dedication,
This willingness to challenge conventions.
to embrace new possibilities.
It's really something.
It is.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Yeah, thanks for listening.
into the world of Magnus Carlsen. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.